We were gonna go to Poland, Czech Republic, and Austria. And they were ecstatic about it. I mean, every part of it they wanted to see and experience.
Ms. Willock was always saying, if you want to go on this tour, you're gonna have to work for it. We had to get service hours and things like that.
We did car washes, we sold popcorn, we basically did like everything under the sun you can think of to try to raise money for the tour.
COVID was sort of amping up in Europe, and the kids kind of mentioned it to me. I had parents reach out and I said, you know, it's not a big deal. Like, wash your hands, it's gonna be fine.
A few of us were at jazz band and we were looking at our phones and found out Trump banned travel to Europe for like the next 30 days.
She ended up telling us the next day in class, and she couldn't even get it fully out before she broke down crying because she didn't want to disappoint us.
It was awful looking at their faces and just having to communicate the information, and I couldn't keep my composure. I mean,
it was really hurtful to work that hard and not get the reward that you were expecting.
Friday the 13th, you know, we were thinking we'll go to school next week, Monday, Tuesday, and they said, nope, take everything home. And I thought, well, we're just gonna be home for a couple weeks. It's not gonna be a big deal. And, you know, then we came back literally a year later.
It's day 2 of our entire family being in self-quarantine. We decided to get outdoors again.
I remember, you know, taking videos on my phone, oh, day 1 of quarantine, thinking it'll be day 1 of 14 or 1 of 30, not one day of 365 plus.
It's 5:30 on a Friday, and normally the street would be insanely backed up, but it's just not. There's no cars.
I don't think anyone really saw the big impact coming, especially with how long it would be. It was like, first it's a 2-week break, okay, now we're gonna be learning virtual. Now it's for the rest of the year. Now it's next year. Oh my gosh, it's been a year.
This is kind of the plan for today. I'm gonna randomize you into groups.
At the beginning, it was very chaotic, I guess, because there was no unified plan into what teachers were doing, so it was really unorganized.
It was a lot of trial and error at first. Okay, I'm gonna try this, or I'm gonna try this.
All right, here's B flat concert.
I learned very quickly, like, we had to figure out different things to do.
JR and Melissa.
We were all just sitting there playing at our screens, and you couldn't hear anybody else playing but Mrs. Whitlock, so you couldn't really hear how your part meshed with somebody else.
And then a lot of people didn't have instruments because our instruments were at school. And it was just really like awkward because I'm just sitting here fingering my notes with my fingers with no horn.
You just don't get that feel of hearing all the different instruments, the brass and the woodwinds and the percussion.
And 1, 2, 3.
Students aren't in the class for playing their instrument. I know that sounds ridiculous. I mean, they are there for playing their instrument, but they're there for playing their instrument together in that community, human connection sort of way, rather than just playing, okay, I'm gonna play my B-flat scale, or I'm gonna play my Vikings Fight On by myself.
So a lot of people got discouraged and they lost their motivation. And it was just a really hard time. Like when we first got into it in March, it was just a really hard time for everybody.
Oh my God, I was so happy when we were back in person. Being back and just joking with your friends and being able to hear other instruments, it was so amazing.
It was like normal again. Learning songs and being on the field and everything, it just felt amazing.
Yes, much better. Lower trumpets, good job. We got 66, everybody.
And it was just so fun to get together and hear us as one sound. I realized, or I re-realized why I was there and why band is a part of my life.
The concert, the outdoor concert was so amazing. I loved it.
I was so happy. I forgot how much I love performing, and I realized how much I missed it.
I almost said to the families when I was introducing things, hey, honk or flash your lights, you know, if there's something you like, but they figured that out on their own.
Having those lights flashed in my eyes was just, it was both painful and very, very joyous. I
think I'm going to look back on this year as a year of transformation because I'm nowhere near the same person I was a year ago.
Every kid that made it to the end, they're resilient because they lived through this experience that is not at all what they signed up for in our class.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought that just simple human interaction was the one thing that we all take for granted?
The connection, the human connection that we have is much greater than any music that we make. I mean, yeah, the music's the glue, but that human connection piece is something that we all crave.
Band is my family, so no matter whether we're in person or virtual, as long as I have them, I think I'll be okay.